For your information, there will be like 30 seconds to 1 minute lag between what we speak now and what will be appearing in YouTube.
Okay, yeah, that's okay.
Okay, we are live now.
Great.
Perfect. Thank you, Riga. So we are right on clock. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in, and we welcome you all to this webinar where we plan to give you a glimpse of Bioventure Hub today. With me is Per, and I'll open the floor for Per to introduce himself, and then we can straight away start with our agenda for today. Over to you, Per.
Thank you, Nilesh, and thank you, Harika, for the invite. And glad to hear that so many companies have joined here to listen in to this overview of this project here with the talent attraction to the Bioventure Hub. It's an environment which I really care for. I think it's a fantastic joint adventure, I would say, to see that you can create an open innovation platform such as the Bioventure Hub here in Sweden and work jointly with you here in Business Sweden and maybe even jointly with you here as the companies all around. So I'm really glad to be here and thanks for the invite and thank you. I also see Shibang here, so glad to see you here. My name is Per Hillert and I'm working at AstraZeneca in Gothenburg in Sweden. And in this project, I'm working jointly with the Bioventure Hub here to see how can the Bioventure Hub learn from companies like you and also support companies like you. So there's a joint build-up of skills and build business models and simply help each other to reach out further. So I hope that I can go through some of the examples that we have captured on a slide deck and elaborate a little bit on those. What is the Bioventure Hub? And I hope that you are interested. And if you have questions about this specific project here, where you can contact Harika and Shubhang and Nilesh, or if you have questions about the Bioventure Hub as such, don't hesitate to reach out because we are there to have a joint conversation. So really glad to see you here. Should we go to the slides?
Or maybe we could hold on for 3-4 minutes for all the people also to log in because we see not a very high number of audience turnout right now. Let's wait for 2-3 minutes while Nilesh is also dropping a reminder so that everyone will log in and then we can share a screen.
Yep. So can we see how many people are on right now?
There are 10 people. 10 people are viewing it right now. You could look it from the YouTube link. 11 actually right now. So maybe we can. Yeah.
It's no rush. I have time. I don't have. The thing is that my YouTube seems to. I think it's a setting in my Chrome here, my personal Chrome, that I cannot see the YouTube video. So it's
okay.
But no problem. We'll just stay connected.
So okay, there's 13 people. For everyone watching via YouTube, we're just waiting for everyone to log in. We'll just start in under 2 minutes.
I can make a short introduction again when we have some more people online.
Sure. I'm just waiting for a magic figure of 15 to cross and post that we could start.
Yeah.
Maybe we can start. 14 people are watching. I think others will join as we start. That's true.
Yes, I will try to start it here on my phone.
Yeah, I can see the. Uh, I'll share the screen again for you. Yeah, over to you now.
Let's see. There it should be. Yes. Okay, let's get going again. So, yeah, glad to have seen some more people joining here. So again, thank you, Nilesh, and thank you, Henrika and Shubhang, for setting this up here. My name is Per Hillert, and I'm working in AstraZeneca in Gothenburg in Sweden, and also working in this project here with the Bioventure Hub, which I hope to give you a few examples of how an offering and how working from the Bioventure Hub could look like. Taking some historical examples from the companies that's right now in the Bioventure Hub, but also lifting up the expertise that I work with every day, and me and my team work with every day from an AstraZeneca perspective. Because I think this project is a unique example, an opportunity for you as companies to see what in your interest is also lifted up as skills in the AstraZeneca and Bioventure Hub today in Gothenburg in Sweden, so that you can use this platform for your future business plans. And in addition, what is your skills and what is your techniques that you can come in and have as a unique selling point in a way, or unique skills that you would bring in to a hub and open innovation platform and be able to grow from that. So I hope that there's a mutual interest here. And again, when I walk through the example from the Bioventure Hub, please note down questions, thoughts, etc. that you have. And again, don't hesitate to reach out. More than happy to help here. So first of all, we will go into the Bioventure Hub as an overview. What is the Bioventure Hub? So the Medici Group has actually named the Bioventure Hub in Gothenburg as one of the most novel incubators in the whole world. And I'm truly amazed, and I've seen quite a few of these different venture hubs and innovation platforms here. And the skill sets that we have from the platform and from a health tech or med tech perspective or digital perspective aligned here, this environment is really something extra, and I think it's great to see, and I hope that you also will think so and have questions about it and reach out here. So yeah, it's a nice comment here by the Medici Group. The Bioventure Hub, as you can see on the picture here on the right, is actually in the center of AstraZeneca R&D facilities in Gothenburg in Sweden. So it's in the core of the working facilities, and the companies that sit there really have access to all kind of experts. And one of the good things with the Gothenburg site is that it covers all the way from early R&D expertise in a few different therapeutic areas, all the way to manufacturing and a lot of digital expertise. Therefore, we think that this is a really good opportunity for this project here to present this platform for you as companies, if you have interest in any of these areas and you can see yourself building your business from this. The Bioventure Hub was established in 2014, and it now constitutes of 38 companies, one academic group, and 160 employees last year. And as you see, it's quite a lot of space that you have there. It's lab space, it's office space, but there's also social space where you will meet both the other companies that's in the hub, but also have access to the different rates of experts sitting at AstraZeneca site and the other health tech and med tech companies that's also surrounding this here. this area here. Thank you. We can go to the next slide. So the Bioventure Hub is built up as a sharing economy applied to life science. There is external companies sitting in the facilities of AstraZeneca in Gothenburg today, and there are companies which are from the early phase, but also in the scale-up phase, and applying this to a kind of a stimulating life science reality of drugs, medical devices, diagnostic, and digital health. And on the right-hand side, you can see some of the companies that today are sitting in the Bioventure Hub and working from there and interacting, but also interacting with the community around them, their customers, etc. So it's a sharing economy and non-competitive setup. So this, thank you. We can go to the next slide. That's a good idea. Yes, as elaborated on earlier, we have companies covering the drug space. We have the medtech space. We have digital health. I have academia, diagnostics, but also expert providers that can both help these companies that sit in the hub with the expertise they have in the lab space, or with the clinical trial space, or with the medical device space, etc. But also work with AstraZeneca or with other pharma companies or other companies around the quite active European medtech, health tech, digital tech, health tech environment. So it's a nice environment to work from in that sense. I think we can go to the next slide. I won't go into every company here. If you have questions about companies, don't hesitate to reach out and we'll try to arrange something there. So some facts and figures here. There is today out of the companies that was listed, it's 11 of them working as international companies. And there are currently 78 clinical studies been set up. There's recruitments. There's 5 IPOs. So going to the stock market. There is a fund raised, and new drug indications is also happening from the Bioventure Hub. It's really impressive, I would say, to see that this both IPOs and new drug indications and fund raised is there are possibilities to work from this. So, there's collaborations happening from the hub. There's many of them. Industry and SME. There is AZ, Bioventure Hub, SMEs, collaborations, and cross Bioventure Hub collaborations as well. So in any form, it's like I said on the earlier slide, here is a platform for interactions and open innovation. Thank you. We can go to the next slide. I want to lift up here 3 success cases where we have the Antaros company, which has gone all the way from 2 people and now are up to 60 people and running 30 clinical imaging studies in over 4 continents. That's truly impressive here. We have the second example, lifting up the company Ondosis, which is a spin-out from AstraZeneca, and have, as you will see on the coming slide, use the forces with the IBM collaboration that is set up. So IBM supports the company on the Bioventure Hub to use the IBM platform in order to take their business models further. And I think this could be of particular interest here in this project with Business Sweden and you as companies in the digital space here. There's also the academic groups, NanoSims, where collaborations with AstraZeneca scientists and publications have come out, and you can go all the way down to subcellular levels. Actually, they're where I'm from personally. Before I joined, I sat in my current position. Yes, thank you. Let's go into some collaborations more. I mentioned earlier there are collaborations between the AstraZeneca site and the Bioventure Hub, of course, and Bioventure companies. But there's also the digital platform that IBM provides for the companies. And in addition, there's a really strong drive towards medical device, where Mölnlycke Healthcare, with their medical device platforms, have joined forces here in the Bioventure arena, and are supporting the companies to grow their medical device expertise and their products from those medical devices. In addition, on the right-hand side, this is actually only a few of the academic and hospital partners, but you have the University of Gothenburg, you have the Chalmers Technical University, but also the Sahlgrenska Science Park, the Sahlgrenska, the big hospital located in Gothenburg, we can reach out, and also I don't know if you've heard about it, but you could take a look at the GoCo Health Innovation City, where there are a few now quite big health tech and medtech and healthcare companies have signed up to join forces with AstraZeneca, the Bioventure companies, and actually create an environment around the site with over 7,000 people working in the health innovation area. So this is really booming right now, and houses are being built. I'm actually not that far away myself today, even though working from home. I can't see the house, but nearly. Thank you. You can go to the next slide. Yes. Again, elaborating here on the setup with the platforms and support from IBM and Mölnlycke. So the SMEs in the Bioventure Hub and their customers has a certain need, and this need is fed into the Bioventure Hub as such, and these needs can then be supported by IBM when it comes to the digital platform, and Mölnlycke when it comes to the medtech platform. So there is resources and there is infrastructure in order to grow the business models for the SMEs and for the companies in the Bioventure Hub when it comes to this digital and medtech space. Thank you. Yes, so going into some of the more specific offerings then, and then you will actually see this slide is a little bit of an overview, and then you will, on the coming slides, you will see details of the specific areas which are in scope of this talent attraction project with Business Sweden and you. I won't go into the details, but I'm sure you can take a look at the slides at a later stage. What is it that the environment in the Bioventure Hub can offer specifically for these 4 different areas, being then ECG, being continuous manufacturing, being quantum computing, and yes, I'll take the last one at the next slide. So in the ECG space, of course. So what is the skill set that the scientist, the commercial expertise, etc., that this platform then provides for you as companies to grow your business models from, but also what is it that the Bioventure Hub is asking for the companies that will join this platform then. These details will be elaborated on the coming slides. So this is more of an overview kind of slide here. So what you do have is access to scientific expertise and leadership in these areas that I said, but also additional areas. There are expertise and mentorships to set up clinical validation and clinical studies, etc. So this is a really good thing for you as companies, and it's also a good thing for the Bioventure Hub and AstraZeneca to learn from what you have developed and your skill set. So it's a joint development here. There is open doors and open innovation. There are access, for examples, to compound libraries, screening technologies, and business expertise in the science area. I must mention that it is a really nice place to live. If I would show you the picture outside today, it's sunny. and it's snowy. You have to bring some extra clothes actually if you want to physically sit here. But it's not only that you have a really nice environment, but it's also that the infrastructure around here is fantastic. Actually, you have a well-functioning workplace and for family and a network to grow your business as well. So it's both the private and the business model is a really nice place here. So there is growth support, as I elaborated on earlier. There are some of the success cases. Of course, it's your own drive and your own skill set to drive your business, but there is support to have here from this Bioventure Hub. And there is a world-class infrastructure. I think I've said it here before. There is fundraising, there's the IBM digital platform, other digital platforms, there is medtech skill set, etc. And there is potential collaborations to be made. And as you saw earlier, the clinical validations, etc., have been built on. So it's up to you and your success story to see, does this fit you? Is this in the needs of your company right now? And we can jointly discuss this. So really glad to have you here as interest partners. Maybe we can go to the next slide. Again, then repeating these 4 different areas that we have selected jointly with Business Sweden as the interest areas today in this project. So we have the medical device, which have been exemplified in the slides earlier. We have the ECG space. It's an area where the Gothenburg community is very, very strong in AstraZeneca. We have a long history of ECG, both from a digital perspective, but also from a disease area. I mean, diabetes, etc., is really, really strong. And you have experts and you have professors that you can collaborate with, etc., to grow and see where can you find your skill set. You have the continuous manufacturing, as I mentioned earlier. The site is reaching all the way from R&D, but also into a continuous manufacturing mindset. And there is, learnings that you could take from the site here. A really hot topic, which is coming up a lot, is the quantum computing area. I think it's a really, really broad topic. This project we have a focus towards digitalization in this project, where quantum computing is both broad but also very early days. Personally, I have a background as a crystallographer or biophysicist in the biology space. There, the number of computations that you need to make is absolutely critical in order to minimize the energy, etc., in the drug development processes and optimize these. The same goes for clinical trials. I think you have fantastic opportunity to apply quantum computing in the settings of healthcare. So if you have interest in that, to know those who has, don't hesitate to reach out. Yeah, we can go to the next. Now I think we have the 4 different areas that are elaborated on more in details. I don't think I should go through these in details. I would actually like to leave it up to you as readers to reflect on the deck and see where does your needs fit in here? Where do you feel that you could benefit from this open innovation platform and the expertise around it? When it comes to medical device, when it comes to the ECG space, and on the next slide then, on the continuous manufacturing, or as mentioned earlier, the quantum computing. I think we can go to the next slide, and then we can distribute the slide deck, and you can all have a look at these in details. Now coming into what do we actually look at in this project here, and I do think that we have Shubhang and Harika and Lesh as expert from a Business Sweden perspective. But I can mention that from a Bioventure Hub perspective, we are looking for companies who have a willingness to collaborate, to work with an open attitude and curiosity from a Bioventure Hub platform. How can you expand your business model from the Bioventure Hub? Would you like to utilize it for a longer term? Do you need to utilize it for shorter term, etc.? It's up for discussions when, if you feel the need for it. Don't hesitate to contact. There is some important parts which are considered and kind of used as filters here. We do, in this project, there is a need to have finance business model. There is a need to be ready to lift off and grow. In addition, there is a review of the commercialized model. Of course, we understand that in some areas, such as the quantum computing, could be an example where it's really early days. It might not be commercialized yet in the products. It's very few actually products which are. So it's an important factor also. How do you commercialize your business model, and how can you see these examples that has been lifted up earlier? How can you see yourself grow in a similar way or with the help from these? There is, as we have a healthcare perspective on it, on this project, there is a clinical validation in your business model. How do you have already today clinical validated platforms, but perhaps not in these geographic areas that is represented here from the Bioventure Hub? And can this be helped? Can you transfer into further markets? Can this business model help you grow? Or are you more in the prototyping stage, and how is your prototyping going? What is the test bed you have? Do you need this scientific expertise? And could the scientific expertise that has been elaborated on the previous slides have a mutual learning from your skill set? So these are some of the areas which are important and reviewed in this talent attraction project. Thank you. Go to next. So, Harika, do you want to take this Bioventure Hub process, or should I?
Super. Yeah, I could take it out. That's fine. Thank you so much for highlighting the offerings of Bioventure Hub, and I'm sure it's a fantastic platform where people could leverage it either for clinical validation or to get more collaborations with both the industries or the SMEs. So I'm sure some of the Indian startups could potentially leverage that. And I think with respect to the evaluation process, what we would expect you is we would once your profile gets shortlisted, you will have a one-on-one interaction with the Bioventure Hub team, and to address your needs as well as to identify the alignment with Bioventure Hub. And based on the interaction, we will finally finalize finalize the startups who will be potentially onboarded to the Bioventure Hub platform. So this is a 4-step mechanism. But more importantly, in order to apply to Bioventure Hub, what we would want you to share is your company brochure / product brochure to our business Sweden ID, which Nilesh has been in touch with you, so you could share it across to Nilesh. And if you have any queries as well, please do reach out to us. We will share this deck to you so that you have the email ID and contact details readily accessible to you. So if you have any questions, please do reach out to us. What we are expecting is we're planning to close the applications by 16th February. So if you are interested in applying to Bioventure Hub or have any queries, do reach out to us. So that's a bit of brief about the application process and the evaluation process. If you have any queries, type your questions in the chat box. I know that we have a couple of questions already in. We will address all these questions now. So I will stop the presentation. There are a couple of questions that we have received from the team. The first question is, does medical devices include irrigation solutions to minimize infection during surgeries? So the question is, does irrigation solutions also be part of medical devices where the focus is towards reducing the infection during surgeries? You are on mute, Per.
Yeah. So I must admit that this is not my area of expertise where it comes to the surgery and infection. We do have infection specialists on site. It's one of the areas where AstraZeneca are focused on, and I think you of course, as the platform is set up in order for interactions to happen, yes, that could be one way to address this from a medical device is then in scope. Whether that is something that you can grow your business model from the Bioventure Hub or not in a good way, I think I would need to ask the experts in this area. Yeah, so that's the way that this is set up. We are. I mean, me myself, I'm from the biology space in the early science in a way. So that's my personal expertise here. So I would, but the way we have a mentor network, we could say, that would then support your application or support your wish or your needs when it comes to joining Bioventure Hub. We have, of course, Shubhang, Harika, Nilesh, and the Business Sweden team when it comes to business models and applications and the kind of review of your interest. And then we have a very big team who are experts in, for example, infections and surgery. Then when it comes to AstraZeneca, so I cannot. The scientific part of that, it's hard for me to answer. Harika, can I ask you, are these written down, these questions, and can I try to come back?
Yes, yes. We can do that. We could definitely register these questions and come back to them. Just a clarification that Dinesh has given further is because irrigation solutions are being classified as medical devices in Europe, and that's kind of the synopsis for the question that he has shared earlier. But I think, Dinesh, what we will do is we'll get back to you after we discuss internally as well, so that we give you the correct answer with respect to whether we wanted to, whether that is something that we're looking at or not looking at.
Thank you for a good question. And yeah.
The other question that we have was if the founders are based in India and if they hire one person in the European market, does that work for Bioventure Hub?
That's how it's been set up for other companies in the Bioventure Hub earlier. I think we have a challenging situation with the pandemic right now, so we need to be mindful of new ways of working and but still utilizing the expertise that are there in the Bioventure Hub. I think there is a great opportunity to have someone on site. I would say as you mentioned here, it's a good question and good example of how it could work. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The other question that we had earlier was, can you throw a bit more light on the cardiac care, the work that you are doing in the cardiac care?
Yeah. Again, I think we all have the different expertise that we do, and it's not in the area of my personal everyday work, and so I would like to rely on the experts. But some of the work that's happening today, being in the cardiovascular disease area or on diabetes and the diabetes kind of if diseases that are the results of diabetes and regeneration of organs and such are hot topics in the everyday life of the site. There is also looking at one example, a new drug which came out, which is relatively big disease area, is hyperkalemia, where we're looking at I think that's an area where digital companies could have a look at the ECG, for example, then looking at the heartbeat and measuring what's the simple ECG. So these are some examples. But again, I would like to please, as I said, don't hesitate to write it down, and we'll elaborate more specifically with us.
Okay. One more question, maybe a bit more specific as well, is does Bioventure Hub support drug development project in infection control, such as chronic symptoms in cystic fibrosis patients?
Wow. Again, great question. I would say that Bioventure Hub has a platform in order for you to reach out to do this. Bioventure Hub as such do not go into the specific business models of your company. The examples that was given are there. The drive is from the company perspective. There is you need to come in with your expertise as companies and your finance business models and your way to reach out, and then there is a support to use the platform and reach out further. And it's not a direct answer to the question, but it's kind of the best I can give.
Sure. And a couple of questions that we have been also receiving per is what kind of support does Bioventure Hub offers in order to expand in Swedish and Nordic and as well as the complete greater European region. So if you could throw a bit more light on that.
Yeah, I think that from the Bioventure Hub, I can elaborate a little bit on the different open innovation platforms which are there in the Nordic area of Europe, where there is a really tight collaborations between university hospitals within the open innovation platforms in the Nordic, and with the different business community, so to say, in general, then in the medtech, health tech, digital tech, digital healthcare area, where this could be utilized for these companies. When it comes to Europe and wider, I think the examples of the companies that have done this journey already from the Bioventure Hub are the ones to talk to. How did they do this? And what learnings did they take? What's their partners? How do you make their journey a lot faster in a way? So I think there are examples of that, and I would say that's something that's quite strong from the Bioventure Hub.
Perfect. Thank you. And one other question is, should people travel physically to Bioventure Hub platform, or is there a virtual incubation kind of setup that is there?
This is something we have discussed a lot in this project here. There is a wish for having a physical attendance and a kind of a need, but we are of course mindful that this is actually not even possible right now. So we need to take this as iterative steps. If you have a need and you have a model that works to work remotely with the Bioventure Hub and with the platform, then we should find a way to make this happen. So yes, there is a wish for this need, but of course not a blocker.
Okay, are there any other questions from anyone watching via YouTube? No. Prashant, Keshav, Gauri. Okay. So if you have any other questions, definitely we have shared our contact details with you, and we'll also share this presentation that we have used with you so that you could reach out directly to us, and we will connect you with Per as and when required with respect to addressing some of those questions. But I think it is great. We just received one question via. Okay, there is one question which Rajat from Sunfox was asking about is what kind of scalability is offered to ECG technology company by Bioventure Hub?
Yeah. Two answers to that question. One question is then one answer is that the scalability is there from your business model. It's your needs, what you need to scale that make it happen. the Bioventure Hub, I would say, will, in the ECD space, provide a good foundation to have expertise to see how have others scaled their ECD capabilities and their digital ECD commercialization and reach out to the market. So I would say yes, there is good ability to scale, but the support from the Bioventure Hub is the platform, the connections, the network that you get from it, and it's then you that scales it.
Sure. Maybe Rajat, I don't know if that answered your question. Maybe we'll connect with you, and if there are any follow-up questions, we could get in touch with you and for to address those questions. Okay. So if there are no other questions, maybe we could end this particular webinar. But obviously, we will be in touch. If you are interested in applying to Bioventure Hub, share your company brochure with us. We'll share it internally within the Bioventure Hub team and get back to you once your profile gets shortlisted and for a one-on-one interaction.
Yeah, thank you for all the good questions. It was both specific, but also from a how do you grow your business model perspective, which is, I think, exactly what this project is about. So thank you for that, and thanks for joining. Hope to see you.
And Harika, if I can just add one thing, I mean, I think Bioventure Hub is absolutely a brilliant platform, which is based out of Sweden. But for a lot of startups, especially which are scale-ups, right, looking to expand beyond India, Sweden can be that platform to expand beyond the Nordics into the greater EU area as well, right, from a very commercial angle. That is one aspect kind of that impacts your revenue or your consideration of kind of generating revenue in the very long term. So, and with Bioventure Hubs, AstraZeneca and Business Sweden's network across the globe, and particularly in Europe, it may be a great opportunity for those folks who have already established some sort of traction in India, but are looking to either expand into Sweden or the EU area commercially, or to kind of just further the technology that probably is not available in India right now, right? Or if there is a greater need for ideation with some of the countries that and the Bioventure Hub will connect to, whose mentors or technology may be a bit ahead in the specific area that you're working in. So that would just be my last 2 cents.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shubhank. Okay, I think, okay, as we will be in touch with you and have a very good afternoon and good morning for people in Sweden.
Yeah, thank you. It's good fun here.
Thank you.
Thank you,